Today, the Father informs us that my abundance is there inside you, and it is generating. If you accept the free gift of Calvary, you will get abundant grace, abundant life, and abundant peace. All of these things are yours. For the sake of providing you with these gifts and influences, I have equipped you with the ability to go deep within yourself and fill your mind with them. These things are what make up the glory that Christ has in you. To the same extent that Christ was resurrected from the dead to glory that cannot be imagined, I am able to bring you out of the most terrifying of circumstances. There is no need to be concerned because this day and these days were included in the price that was paid for Calvary, so there is no need to be concerned. Do not give the adversary the opportunity to play a game in your head, telling you that you are somehow responsible for all of this because of the mistakes or sins you have committed in the past. You have been set free. Having cleaned you and making sure that you are as clean as a brand new baby, I am cradling you in my arms and ensuring that you are protected. My grace, even my abundant grace, is reverberating through your life, and you will continue to go from faith to faith and glory to glory as you travel through this process. When it comes to understanding things, the natural mind is unable of doing so. However, the mind of the Spirit that resides within you is able to comprehend everything since those thoughts originate from me. Even in the midst of the chaos that surrounds you, you have the ability, beloved, to think my thoughts. Do not become faint. You should not give up or give in to hopelessness because your inner man, which is the part of you that Jesus Christ has given you the power to rule in this life, is refreshed every day to the extent that it is sufficient to meet the challenges that come your way. What about the events that are taking place in your immediate vicinity? The condition is mild. You are being carried through by the weight of grandeur, which is nothing more than the dust of the balance. Be mindful of the direction in which you are looking. The things that are seen should not be seen or looked at as though they are in control of what will occur in the future. Please take note of the things that are not visible. It is not a virus, a government decree, or the issues that are appearing around you that are determining what occurs next in your life. Rather, it is the unseen things of my kingdom that are eternal and are those that are determining what happens next. Have faith in me. You do not have any difficulties. The Father states that you are currently undergoing a transition to greater splendor. In the kingdom, there is no social distance, according to what the Father has taught us today. There is a possibility that you are socially separated from other people, yet you are not spiritually separated from my protection. I am very close. As near to you as the air that passes through your nose, I am yours. As close to you as your hands and feet are, I am right here. Isolation may only exist for a little period of time, but your place in my family will remain unchanging forever. Despite the fact that other people are struggling with the visible, I am the God who is responsible for both the visible and the invisible. Things that catch your attention are only there for a short period of time, regardless of how threatening they may appear to be. The things that are not visible in my kingdom are eternal and have power over all that takes place in all three realms, the realm of the tangible body, the realm of the temporal realm, and the realm of the skies. Each and every one of these things is being brought to bear by my hand as a shield of assurance around you at this very moment. Fearmongers and pessimists are only concerned with what the human race is capable of accomplishing. When you accept my promises, You will not only see what I am capable of achieving, but you will also witness what I am doing to bring about change. You do not have any difficulties. You are going through a period of transformation. All is well, and things are just getting better. Your inheritance and your share are the only things that could conceivably go in the correct direction. If there is anything that goes against the faith index, you must assert your authority over it and stand up confidently on my word. What the adversary takes must be returned to them 100 times over. It is possible that the palmerworm, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar that were mentioned in Joel's prophecy are present in the country. Nonetheless, my large army is working on your behalf, bringing angelic protection and provisions into your life. Because I have placed the eye of my favor upon you for good and not evil throughout the entirety of your life, I will send ravens to feed you and give you water from the brook to sustain you. I will do this because I have put the eye of my favor upon you. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, Corona is not king. Rather, I am king over the entire globe as well as every bacterium and virus. I paid the price on Calvary, says God, not only for your healing but also for your health. I did this before you. My assurance is that you will live out your days and have a life that is worth living, which is something that nothing can take away from you, not even a virus, a microbe, or any other instrument that the adversary may use. All that was required was the shedding of the priceless blood of heaven's favorite child. This day, I have protected you from harm. I surround you like a wall of defense and fire. I am all around you. You will not get into a state of stagnation, and you will not give in to this deception of the adversary or the fear that is associated with it. 1,000 years ago, I triumphed over fear. I took every illness, disease, and plague upon myself and stifled its ability to damage you or affect you in any manner. I did this by taking it upon myself. My vineyard is surrounded by a hedge that I have placed around it. Open your eyes and see it. As a branch that is rooted in the vine that I am, you are a specific choice. Your physical body is being infused with my power, and I am extending my strength into each and every nucleotide and strand of DNA that makes up your body. You are doing well, and will continue to do so in the future. You are in good health, and you are going to continue to be quite healthy. The amount of faith that I put in your unformed nature before the foundation of the world is now appearing in you as an immunization of the Holy Ghost to protect you and to preserve you along with all that is related to you. The Father replies, I am in you, and I am with you, and I will preserve you in full this day. Shake yourself free from the mesmerizing effect of dread and the false evidence that appears to be true. Today, the Father tells you that you are standing on ground that is 100-fold. It was during a period of famine that Isaac planted seeds on the land, and not only did he harvest 100-fold, but he also harvested 100-fold in the same year. As was the case during the time of Isaac, people are fleeing to Egypt in every direction. However, just as I dispatched my angel to Isaac, I have dispatched my angel to visit you. Hold on to your trust, and pay attention to the still, little voice that I speak. It is time to move in the contrary spirit, according to God, when the enemy comes in like a torrent bringing destruction. I have anointed you and established you, and thus fear will not have dominion over you. You will have control over fear and over all of his cohorts because I have already established you. I have clothed you in my righteousness, and those who are righteous will not be disturbed under any circumstances. I am attempting to fend off the waves of panic that are coming your way. It is written that you will be like the children of Israel in the country of Goshen. The events that are afflicting those who do not have eyes will be visible to you, but not a single hair on your head will be harmed or lost as a result of these events. Your gates are not going to be shut down, rather, I will be opening them. This is because your faith is working the soil of your expectation to produce seed, fruit, and harvest in radical measure as you obey my voice and follow the defined path I have put before you, even that path that the flesh will never tread, but the man of the Spirit will move out on with bold anticipation of return. Your gates will be open continuously and will not be shut day or night because your faith is out there working the soil. Both the right hand and the left hand should not be looked at. Be sure to pay attention to both the actions I take and the words I utter. The wealth of the nations is being shook out of the pockets of the adversary, says the Father, so that men may bring the wealth of the nations to you for the purposes of the initiatives of my kingdom. In a time of trembling, I assure you that you will be the only one left standing when everyone else has fled. I am with you, leading, guiding, and making sure that your feet are sure and swift. Today, the Father says, my timing is never convenient to the natural man. What does this mean? The things that you anticipated would occur sooner are going to take place at a later time than you anticipated. As a result of the fact that I do not wish for you to go through life devoid of happiness, there are also things that you believed would take place at a later time but are going to take place sooner. Even given the current circumstances, I am not willing for you to leave anything less than the fulfillment of your deepest, most heartfelt desires and your most profound dreams. I command you to break the mesmerizing effect that fear has on your life, says God. I call upon you today. Your fear is trying to tell you to gaze to either the right or the left. Fear is trying to get you to take your gaze off of the harvest. It is the desire of fear to divert your attention away from the pursuit of the kingdom, yet, dear, it is the pursuit of the kingdom that will guarantee that all things will be added to you, even during times of famine and uncertainty. Be courageous during this time of year. Take a brave stance. You must not allow anything to divert your attention away from the pursuit of the kingdom, since my word cannot be broken. I will crush the issues to powder and bring you up and bring you out to your blessing location. The situations that are currently occurring may blast against my promises in your life like the winds and waves of a storm, but I will bring you out through the process. A new day has come, according to God. Even as I stated via the prophet in November of 2019, this is the time to construct a prayer perimeter around your life. This year is the year of, as in heaven so on earth. That is the year. Pray with your mouth alone. Make your faith known, rather than your uncertainty. Say anything to the mountain of difficulty, and it will comply with your request. You will not be let down if you look for it, ask for it, and knock on it. This is the day that I am bringing forth saviors from Zion in order to make my glory visible, and you are one of the people who I have chosen to be called upon to proclaim my praises in the midst of the dark hour. This day is the day that heaven has given its commission. Both to work and to hash out the specifics, the angels are coming alongside both of these activities. This is not the time to put things off. It was your intention to delay and put off certain things, but I urge you to pay attention to my voice rather than the voice of some other individual. For even in the midst of a famine, this ground is the 100-fold ground that you have prayed for and believed for. My ways are not the ways of man. Establish your faith. Plant the seeds of your vision. In this life, you will receive a return that is 100 times greater than what I promised in my word if you plant your expectations. You are the one I have selected and chosen. You are my word walker, the Father says to my children. In the process of carrying out my word and putting into action the blueprints and plans that I have provided, you will not be let down. Today, the Father declares that no weapon that is fashioned against you will be successful. Be aware that my standard is in place to surround you with my safety in the event that the enemy makes an entrance against you. You're not in danger at all. You are not the only one dealing with this. I am here with you, and I promise that I will never abandon you or leave you behind. I am the greater one, and I am present in you to will and to carry out your will in accordance with my will. It is not my intention to infect you with a virus. You will receive the kingdom as a gift from me. My word is true right now, and it will continue to be true tomorrow as well. I am not surprised by anything that is taking place around you. There is nothing that has taken me by surprise. The God who is able to do anything is me. I do not find myself wringing my hands and wondering how I will be able to help you overcome the difficulties that you are currently facing. Pause for a moment. Breathe in the tranquility that I provide, and exhale all of your worries and tension. Don't be afraid. Instead, take hold of your faith. Right now is the time to put your faith into action. This is the time to replenish the reserves of your faith in my word, and now is the time to do it. Undoubtedly, you do have a foe. No, he is keeping an eye out for you. To answer your question, no, it is not possible that his goals or plans will be successful in the end. Have faith in what I have said. You should meditate in it both throughout the day and at night. Listen to and take into consideration the testimony of the scriptures as well as the testimony of my spirit. The words of my logos and my rhema will help you get through this. Hear the sound of my voice. During the night, my words are resonating through you, and even during the day, my intentions are whispering to you. This is the voice that is calling over your shoulder, saying, "This is the way, walk you in it." Move in that direction without glancing to the right or the left. I am that voice. On the contrary, you will not be let down. I have made the decision to reside in you, the Father says today, since you are the temple. Please be aware that you are protected within the ark of my glory. During the construction of the temple, Solomon's intention was to create a location that would accommodate the ark of my presence. At this very now, the angel of my presence is present with you. During the work that was done on the cross at Calvary, I made a spot for you all right here by myself. I made it possible for the ark of my presence to reside within you, to follow you, and to rest upon you in all of the activities that you will be doing during the day. In the same way that I blessed the house that Solomon constructed, I am also blessing the house and the temple that you are as a result of the new birth. I am looking at you with my eyes wide open, says the Father. Due to the fact that you are the temple that was not constructed by human hands, I have established my name within the house that you are. It is possible that for some people today is a day of concern, but for you, it is the day that I like. You are that dwelling place of which Solomon's home, in all of its beauty, was merely a shadow, says the Father. My favor flows toward you because you are that dwelling place. I provided honor to a natural house through the covenant that I made with Solomon. As a result of the blood that was shed at Calvary, I have made a covenant with you regarding the fact that my kingdom will be in you and will manifest through you in everything. This is because when you cry out to me, you are relying upon the resources and graces that are already stored up within you. Throughout the night and day, the angels of God are on their way to you and ascending from above. Be always cognizant of the fact that I am not a distant God but rather a close God, who is attentive to every cry that your heart makes, even on this very day. Today, the Father encourages you to protect your heart from anything that is bad. Do not allow yourself to be dragged down into the false narrative that the world, the media, and the adversary of your soul are trying to tell you. Instead, fill your mind with the wonderful promises that my word has to offer. Everything that goes against my word is a product of hell, and it is not a part of my inheritance for you to consume. In order to protect oneself from the circumstance, the people, and the environment that consistently exude the negative, defeatist attitudes of unbelief, you need construct a wall of opposition between yourself and these elements. The adversary of your aspirations has bundled up the unfavorable content and delivers it to your doorstep on a daily basis. Now is the moment to put up a fight against all of his schemes to drag you down on the basis of his lies. Whatever it is that is pure, faultless, and of good reputation, one should embrace it and let go of all else. According to the Father, whatever abundantly settles in your heart will be generated in your life for you to experience. It is in this manner that I built the human heart to function in your favor rather than in opposition to you. Your heart will be filled with things that are pure, and with time, the pure will take over the impure things that exist in your life. If you allow yourself to be filled with things that are wonderful, then pleasant things will find their way to your front porch each and every morning. If you fill your heart with the things that would make a good report, then the good report will find its way to your back door. Once you have filled your heart with the things that come from virtue, my virtue will radiate forth from my throne and cure your land. As you go about your day, do you find yourself unable to find any praise or any pleasant, blissful information to engage your thoughts? These are the things that you should be thinking about today, the Father continues, since they will be the ones that determine your tomorrow. On this day, the Father instructs us to remain rooted in my word. There are instances when the prophets talk in a manner that is in direct opposition to one another. Another will foretell that the morning will spread across the mountains, while the first will foretell that the day will be filled with gloom and darkness. They are both correct, depending on the direction in which your affections will go. According to the Father, if you focus your affections on me, you will never be moved. The character of the season you are currently in is determined by the things you hold to and the things you are prepared to give up for the sake of my will throughout your life. What is it that a man can take away from you that I am unable to match? What is it that man might threaten that I am unable to restore with a single act of heavenly forgiveness? There is nothing that you have anchored in me that will be harmed by that which is coming upon the planet. Thus there is no need to be sad when the prophets prophesy that there will be a loss happening in the near future. Your entire life, including everything you own, belongs to me. You may count on me to ensure your well-being. When other people see the resources and provisions that you have, they will question, how is it possible that this is happening? In response to their question, you will tell them that there is a loving Father who is concerned about even the smallest sparrow that falls from the branch. This is a pivotal time for you to put your trust and faith in faith. Do not allow yourself to be caught away by any fabricated testimony, deceitful sign, or miraculous occurrence. It is a profanity to be afraid. Do not ever allow it to escape your mouth or become ingrained in your heart. Maintain a bold and courageous demeanor. You are going to knock this monster down, and then you are going to cut off his head with his own sword. At this moment, the Father has stated that none of these occurrences have taken me by surprise. I am the only person who can decide what further events will take place in your life. Gain an understanding of how fragile the challenge that you are currently facing is. Do not be afraid. Instead, make the conscious decision to not be afraid by recognizing how powerful you are in Christ and how fiercely I am standing by your side. Take into consideration the number of angels that have been tasked with fighting and ministering on your behalf until the enemy is brought under control and you are able to achieve triumph. The heavens have an enormous amount of resources that are reserved for you. You have had previous encounters with heaven having a physical presence in your life. Therefore, you should not let your faith be compromised. This is something that you are capable of doing, says the Father. All of the weapons of glory are at your disposal with you. The weapons that you use in your combat are not of a carnal nature, but rather powerful enough to overcome any challenge that is thrust upon you. By putting your faith in Christ, you will be able to put an end to the violence of the sword, overcome the barrier that cannot be broken through, and destroy the barrier that the adversary has set up in front of you. The opposition is playing a game of smoke and mirrors, regardless of the situation. Since of the cross, the adversary does not have a single significant obstacle that he can place in your path, since it completely destroys all of them from the ground up. According to the Father, you should base your decision for today not on the red light that the adversary is giving you, but on the green light that I am giving you. Move forth and seize control of your future. As of today, the Father has stated that the situation is not hopeless. The prognosis is in no way gloomy. In the same way that the prophet prayed for his servant, open your eyes. There are more people who are on your side than there are people who are against you. The number of angelic hosts that are encamped around you for your protection is greater than the whole number of viruses that have traveled from a meat market in China all the way to your home. God declares that this is an act of war, and I am a God who is a God of war. You were meant for combat from birth. Take a stance and stand up for what you believe in. Within the middle of the wave of darkness that is approaching on the earth, this is your moment to shine and show forth my splendor. This is the time when the biggest dream and the utmost heart's desire have been realized. The moment has arrived when every single system that man has ever devised will fail, and you will be among the few that will survive. They will observe you walking with faith and say, "Take me to your leader," when they spot you. God declares that this is the year in which, as in heaven, so on earth, is fulfilled. This is the moment when thy kingdom come. Now is the time to go to hell in your prayer life and give the devil what he deserves. Get to your feet. Get away of here. Be the man or woman of God that I have called you to be, and shake yourself to come into your own. Not only am I not weak, but you are not weak either. Because I am not vulnerable, either you or I are not vulnerable. Even if the COVID-19 virus were to land in your palm, it would be instantaneously eradicated by the power of the Spirit of life that resides within you. This is the same life that brought Christ back from beyond the grave. You are a candidate for the resurrection. You are endowed with the power of dunamis, which comes from on high. I will be with you in everything that you do today, says the Father, so have courage and rejoice in this day. As of today, the Father declares, I am your deliverance from every threat and every assault that the enemy has against you. According to the Father, those who are skeptical and those who are concerned about the future have witnessed a few things. Nonetheless, they prefer to live in a world that entirely rejects that I even exist. I make this proclamation to you, even if the very foundations of the world are broken, you will still be standing. It makes no difference. When every other domain of influence, including medicine, politics, and every other sphere of influence, has failed, you will be found safe and sound in the secret chamber of the Most High. Maintain your composure and bring yourself to a state of serenity by thinking on the fact that I reside within you, that I am responsible for the upkeep of my dwelling, and that I have placed my seal on the temple that you are. As the dwelling place and the army that I have created you to be, now is the time for my men and my women to come together as a one entity. Currently, we are in the decade of prayer. As the saying goes, as in heaven so on earth, this year is the year that there is no COVID-19 in heaven. Heaven is a place where there are no face masks. There is not a single hand sanitizing station available to you once you have passed through those gates. Quarantines and fear-mongering talking heads are not practiced in this country. It is important to keep in mind that the same Holy Spirit that brought Christ back from the dead also quickens your mortal bodies in ways that cannot be measured with a stethoscope or put on a slide for examination. I am your source of power. I am the protective agent that protects you from every disease and infection. Currently, the moment has come for the person that I am on the inside of you to shine forth as brightly as the sun in the kingdom of your Father. This day, the Father declares that the sky is not falling, rather, the kingdom is on its way. There is no need to be afraid, tiny sheep, because it is my delight to bestow the kingdom upon you. In the midst of your distress, I am your safe haven, and even if you are witness to the ruin of the wicked, it will not get close to you. The obnoxious pandemic and the arrows that fly by day are not your lot because you have made your way into the lofty tower of my name, and you will be protected until these things have passed. This day, I invite you to come under the protection of my wings and to breathe the breath of one whose strength is the Lord, even in the midst of the events that are taking place all around the world and even in the things that are happening more locally. I am your safe haven and your anchor of security. I am your place of refuge. It is possible that for some people, these times are days of complete darkness, when the sun does not provide any light, yet, for you, it is the beginning of the morning spread throughout the mountains. One should not be terrified of the terror that lurks in the shadows, nor should one be afraid of the plague that moves through the day. Not a single one of these things caught me off guard, so make sure you don't let them catch you off guard either. Refrain from pressing the panic button and instead press the praise button. Against all of the works that the adversary has created, your praise is a weapon of war. Refrain from listening to those who instill fear, as they see the world through the eyes of those who have no God and who have no trust in anything other than their vain idols. I am the person you can rely on, and I am the person who will protect you. When everything is said and done, you will be left standing with your testimony unharmed and your life unaffected by the hands of the adversary. In today's message, the Father encourages you to train yourself to be opinionless. The mind of the flesh leaves a mental mess that is thrown around in your soul, and that clutter is that of your opinions. Because of this, my grace is thwarted, and you are deprived of my serenity. When there is no peace, the leading of my spirit is put on hold, and it is waiting for you to quiet yourself down to the point where you can only hear my voice. There will be a voice of calm that will speak over your shoulder and say, "This is the way, walk you in it." Once opinions have been silenced, this will happen. When you go, you will be escorted out with serenity, and you will leave with delight. Joy is what defines the path you will take, and tranquility is what determines when you will take your next step. Put an end to your incessant asking for answers. It is not in my word that I have stated that you will be led forth with explanations and that you will go out with details and instructions. These kinds of demands are the tyranny of the intellect, which insists that my kingdom function in the manner that the flesh desires it to function. You must be quiet, God tells you. When this occurs, you will be able to hear my voice speaking in the pauses that occur between your own thoughts. The words I speak are not opinions or mental judgments, rather, they are spirit and life. These things will never get you to the level of glory that I have for you, which is for your empowerment. Do you feel prepared to make a change? I will guide you along this way. It is the path. I have given you a commission, and the Father says to you today, set your face like a flint in the direction I have specified. The unwavering determination to move forward in faith should be something that you have within you. You should have a firm belief that the things I have promised will undoubtedly come to pass in your life. I continue to be the Lord, your God, and I do not alter. In a similar manner, I have instilled within you a singularity of mind with regard to my message from the perspective of your concerns. Allow your gaze to remain fixed on the object in front of you without looking to the right or left. In this season, my lordship is expressing itself on the inside of you. Do not let circumstances, people around you, or even the vanity of your own natural mind to act as a counterbalance to my lordship. Remind yourself at all times that the work is being done by the Father who resides within you. The human rationale never takes into consideration the unique reality that the individual who believes are capable of accomplishing anything they set their mind to. It is said that you have the ability to move the mountain. Your biggest dream and the fulfillment of your deepest heart's desire are both right in front of you, waiting to be realized into reality. In spite of the pressure, you should not give in. As an alternative, you should push through the pressure with the knowledge that you will emerge into the kingdom if you do not pass out. In order to bring about a dramatic change in your life, you must first force yourself to press into the pressure. There is no such thing as a random process that leads to breakthrough. This moment, everything you say and do will become as effective as if I had said it or done it. You are fighting, and you are walking by faith into the fulfillment of your destiny. At that particular moment, everything you say and do will become extremely powerful.